David Szymanski's question is, do you think Doom 3 is a good Doom game? Starting with Ruby Ranger.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in my... I would put Resurrection of Evil just above it, but Doom 3 is a great Doom game.
Yeah. Okay, why?
Yeah.
Expand.
Because for me, it goes back to the basics of what the original Doom for me was, which was a horror game. The atmosphere is second to none. It takes its time building up, but in a way that it makes the impact of the Hell Invasion feel more real. Like, this is the first time where every other Doom game were just dropped in the middle of the invasion. The Hell Incursion has happened. This is the only game where we literally get to see it happen, and having that experience makes the goings on that much more horrific, I feel.
They turned it into Half-Life.
Yeah, or they learned their lessons. They learned the lessons from Half-Life. I think the game feel is really good. I think the level design is really good. I wish the final boss had been better. I think it's a really good Doom game, and I'm also the guy who prefers Doom 64. I think Doom 64 is my second favorite Doom game. Yeah, the real Doom 3. But it's slower paced, it's intentional, and it's methodical. I don't believe that Doom has to be Fast and Furious run and gun to be a good Doom game. You could, Dark Ages is very different from Doom Eternal. They're both good Doom games. If the game itself does what it set out to do very well, which I feel Doom 3 does, then yeah. And it's got everything, all of the hallmarks of Doom, and it succeeds.
Nice. Hyacsho, what's your take?
Yeah, I think yes. At the end of the day, I was trying to sit here and think, nah, it doesn't, right? Because could you see this game in a vacuum and give it another name, and could it still be Doom? And then I think to some part you could say that a lot, especially the earlier levels, it's a generic sci-fi action adventure of that era, where everything had to be a bit more grounded, a bit more realistic, a bit darker. Everyone was very jaded, everyone was going through their emo phase and that kind of thing. But now that I think of, even if I had to take a screenshot of Doom from the Doom 3, from the earlier parts of the game or the later parts of the game, it is actually quite unique even for its time. And even now today, I guess. So, yeah, Doom 3 tried to do something different. It tried to focus on the horror things. We know this, I can fucking say this. Everyone knows this shit. But, yeah, do I think it was a good Doom game? I do. Do I think it was maybe a Doom game I would have liked to see? At the time I was playing it, I thought it was the best Doom game I had ever seen. And then Doom 2016 came out, and I was like, oh, I see now. But for me, Doom 3 was, yeah. But for me, Doom 3 was and is a really good Doom game. I still love it. I still enjoy it. Today, I think all the weapons all feel very, besides maybe the plasma, which is most unique, I feel it all very, I don't know how to describe this feeling. But that none of them feel very powerful or expressive, in my opinion, too much. They feel very empty. I don't know I'll come up with a better word than that. But yeah, do I think Doom 3 is a good Doom game? Yeah, definitely. I do. I don't care what anyone else says. Fuck you.
Yeah, I think it's a good Doom game. It's got things in it that I don't particularly care for. But I think Doom is a very flexible franchise. I think a lot of things can be Doom, and I don't know. You're running around a Mars base, and there's demons there, and you've got the Doom arsenal, and there's a kick-ass menu theme, and it's kind of there's. I think if you get that, then you've got a good Doom game, and then from there you can do your own thing.
Yeah. For the longest time, I always got confused with the Quake 2 music and the Doom 3 music when I was younger. But Trav, Trav, what about you?
I have some baggage with this one because I said on my channel multiple times many years ago before Eternal came out, I don't think Doom 3 is a good Doom game. I've grown up. I'm sorry, public apology. But I've come around on it. And I think that, yeah, it still feels like Doom. You're still circle strafing around enemies. The enemies aren't as spongy. It doesn't quite feel like Doom at times, but it's still fun. And it does capture a lot of what made the original Dooms fun, in that exploring, finding secrets. You're often backtracking through a lot of the same rooms, a lot of the same areas that open up new doors once you get keys, except this time they're PDAs, because PDAs are the future. And it has a lot of that supplementary stuff, like, oh, you can find key codes, you can find number pads, which makes it feel a bit closer to like a System Shock than a Doom at times. But I think that it was a welcome addition. I wish the game had a bit more staying power for my brain, because after I play it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. I don't really want to keep playing it, which I don't feel with other Doom games. But I think that it does everything that it needed to do, wrapping it back around to the Doom 3 shotgun. Like, I think that it did what it tried to do, and it did it well. And I don't think it's a bad game by any means. It's not my favorite, but it's a Doom game through and through.
You know, we never ask each other these questions. Deadforge, what's your opinion?
Is Doom 3 a good Doom game? Yeah, I think so. I think Doom 3 is a good Doom game, because, you know, it starts off kind of feeling like he said, like, well, somebody said, I don't know who said it, but it felt kind of like System Shock. At times, it was Trav, okay. So yeah, like it kind of, that System Shock or more, linear horror shooter kind of thing at times, which for me added a cool, like, interesting, just interactive element, because I'm all about like animations and just interacting with the little touch screens and stuff. I just think is entertaining. But the further you get in the game, the more open it becomes, and the more frantic and fast paced and more about the booming and shooting it becomes. It becomes a little bit less slow, and it becomes pretty intense as time goes on. Once you get to like hell and stuff like that, it just really goes like kind of crazy. So I think overall, it's definitely a pretty good Doom game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Medium. Finally, yourself.
Yeah. I think my answer kind of encapsulates a lot of the things we touched on. For the same reason that Eternal works as a Doom game, despite being quakey. It's just a matter of emphasis. I think it's not playing outside of the sandbox to me at all. I mean, you've got the lights flickering in the original Doom. You've got the roars you can hear down the hallways and all these kinds of things. It's just, to me, the flexibility of Doom is what makes it more enduring on average. Not just me personally, but I think it's one reason why it probably kind of leapfrogs Quake and stays ahead. Like, Quake does all these things. It's not really like Quake's at fault or anything. It's just either because it's been leaned into a lot more. Just because I think the hook also works a lot better, and that's why Doom 3 works as a Doom game. Is because the hook is still killing demons with cool sci-fi weapons. It's still, we can all say it's a different speed. It's a different level of satisfaction. I think it's pretty obvious. We should at least agree on that it's not just like every other Doom game that exists. That's why I think it's special in that regard, but it is still the essentials. It's still the slightly scary, just like the first game was. It may be slower paced, it may be of its era, but I think it absolutely works in the same way that Eternal works. It's just, lean into it here, pitch into that, and have fun with that. And then, we can always, like, what are we losing by just having really cool, hyper-specific versions of the fantasy of the hook? So, yeah. Works for me.
Nice. Just as we have, the previous guest question, now is your opportunity to ask our next guest question. So we have two people on. So we have Technoplasm developer Mothership Loudspeakers is returning to the show, and we've got Slim back on. Well, 99% Slim. So it's still to be confirmed.
Who's the other one? I'm sorry, you cut out for some reason.
That was really cool sounding. I hope that came through for you. You were like, and then we got...
It really didn't sound like that.
Yeah.
Who was it? Slimbratsky.
Slimbratsky and Technoplasm developer Mothership Loudspeakers are joining us for the next show. So, does anyone have... I don't want to say, you give a question, you give a question. Just open to the floor. Does anyone have any questions they would like to put to them?
how on earth do you manage your time well enough to support the output that you have? His output is insane.
It is.
And
I already
I
know the
look
answer.
Be a dad of 3.
like he's a father and he's a husband and
And
you know,
he has
I'm
a full-time job.
he has a full-time job still too?
He does,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought at this point he had to be doing all of this that was it. This had to be Jesus Christ. Like I fight for time. And so my question, I guess, to Slim is how do you manage your time in order to be able to do what you do as much as you do?
I'm going to echo that one hard.
I couldn't write down exactly that. I've got how do you manage your time to get the workload done? Is that good?
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fun.
Works. Probably the best possible question to ask him.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him, like, does being a father affect the games that you choose?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Does being a father...
I don't know enough about Vibrant Green Guy.
Most of Lad Speaker's the Technofighter. He also
me.
did another game called... Oh, shit, what was it called?
Ghostwire.
Ghostwire.
I keep going to call it Ghost in
Ghostwire.
the Shell. Hopefully I don't do that during the episode.
Ghostwire?
Ghostwire.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
hardware, software,
Yeah.
Ghostware.
Yeah, thank you.
How do I know if I'm really in love?
What the fuck?
Be a nice one.
That's a beautiful question, man.
What the
Give him back his aspirin.
If I'm
You can have it back. You've been a good boy.
Thank
How
you.
does Mayo know if he's...
No, it's not about me
How
specifically.
does Mayo know?
How does anybody know if they're in love?
You know what's great? You know what's great about Mayo's face reveal in this podcast is that I always pictured Mayo as like the robot from RoboCop 2, like that other RoboCop. Yeah. And now his literal picture is of a machine,
People...
and it's just like, yeah, no, that fits.
Yeah.
That fits.
People said something similar. You know, we had Racevic on a while ago, like a month and a half or something. It was the first time he'd ever shown his face, and he's been a YouTuber for a fucking decade.
Really?
Everyone was like, oh my god, he's so handsome, he looks so young and stuff like that. I thought that, like Mayo, I was going to have to use like some sort of animated, thing to show his face. And then he turned up on the camera. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? I'm like, holy shit, it's Racevic. I had no idea he was so young and stuff. But I
But like
appreciate...
Kirk collects, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen Kirk's face, and then he comes online. I'm like, holy shit, hey bro, you got a
G-Man,
face.
G-Man as
amazing.
well. I thought G-Man would
Well,
just
G-Man,
show
yeah.
up.